Or there's somebody slash you in the back that's going to stay that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just funny with the pictures. You wait on that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday, August 27th, 7 o'clock, and we're Nerds on the Couch. We got a lot to cover. I know it's been a couple of weeks, and we got to thank the guys from the Border City Comic Con. You took my picture.
I'm just trying to get rid of it, man. I don't know what's going on with this thing. All right, go ahead.
Just click the icon on the side, man. And hopefully the flasher doesn't come back. That'd be a bad time to take a picture. But we got to thank the Border City Comic Con guys for having us. A couple of weeks ago, it was an awesome con. It was great meeting Deep Roy. And I got to say hi to AZ Power Girl.
Yep.
I found her costume on the floor over here, but that's a different topic. Anyway, she lost her costume in El Paso. So,
she did?
Yeah.
In other words, it was stolen.
Well,
more than likely.
Well, you guys wouldn't believe me anyway if it was like right there on the floor. Anyway, I'm in trouble. Anyway, it was fun, and we got a lot to look forward to. I mean, we got the Halloween Fest coming up here in El Paso that we're going to be going to, and of course the Las Cruces Comic Con. So, we got a busy September coming up, and the Halloween Fest is in October, of course, and the Sun City Sci-Fi is going to be in October. And it's going to get to the point where I'm like, where am I? What convention are we in?
Wait a minute. I thought the Sun City was in... I mean, not the Sun City, but the Las Cruces is in September, just a couple of weeks, right?
Yes, I made that clear. Las Cruces is in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I mixed it up with the Halloween one. Halloween one's in October, and also the Sun City. Yeah.
Which is going to be cool because Mini-Me, you need to go ahead and get a picture with Mini-Me, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 3 bald guys, yeah, let's do that.
Going to be there?
Yeah, Vern Troyer is going to be here for Sun City. And
and also Nichelle Nichols.
Yeah, Nichelle Nichols is our headliner for Sun City. Las Cruces one, hopefully we get the cars back. I keep wanting to see the cars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those are good. Because they had the DeLorean there last time.
Yeah.
And the classic Batmobile.
Yeah, and we got some cool guests coming up. I mean, we got Tiny Lister from The Fifth Element, No Holds Barred. Coming in.
Yeah. Oh, Friday.
We have David Zayas, who's in Gotham, and he was in Dexter. A bunch of cool roles in that. Wendy Schaal, who's the voice of I forgot the white Mrs. Stan Smith in American Dad.
Really?
She's done a lot.
She's done a lot. Yeah, she's done a lot of voice work.
Yeah, so we got plenty to talk about, but catching up. Oh my God, we got to catch up. The worst movie ever, and definitely the worst movie of superheroes, which goes back. I mean, there's a long list of bad superhero movies.
Oh,
you mean worse than Little Nicky?
Oh, God.
Little Nicky wasn't a superhero movie.
No, but generally the worst movie of the worst of the worst. And I'm talking, I mean, Chino and I sat through the Laurel and Hardy remake.
Oh, funny. Don't remind me.
But did you sit through the Full House remake?
And I sat through the making of the Full House movie earlier.
I have a question. Would you have rather spent the time watching the Star Wars Christmas special?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, actually.
Oh, the holiday special. Holiday special.
Yeah.
The holiday special. Ooh.
Oh.
Come on, Chewbacca. Come get some cookies.
You know what? at least the Star Wars Holiday Special had cool commercials. Okay, I'll give it that.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
One of those commercials was better than the movie for me. I wouldn't mind seeing the commercials.
Yeah, and the fact that they used actual lead on the cars back then.
Okay. Let me clarify.
Radon was still legal.
Yeah.
I would rather sit through a marathon of The Dark Knight Rises.
Ooh. And we know how much you hate that.
Yeah, I'd happily sit through it and watch Ghost Rider, the second one,
Ooh.
and a bunch
Man,
of
you
other...
must have really hated it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I disagree now. I'd rather see Fantastic Four than those other two.
Okay.
Dark Knight Rising. I'm good. I'll stay with Dark Knight Rising.
Okay, I have a
Dark Knight
question.
Rises.
I have a question. Would you prefer that you were given a prostate exam by a diseased baboon
Yeah.
with an itchy finger?
No.
Now, hold on.
No.
First of all, I think watching a baboon do a prostate exam would be a show in itself.
Yeah, you know what? That would be a show. It would be a World War II movie where the Nazis were torturing the information out of somebody. Bring the baboon!
I would rather watch Birth of a Nation.
Well, I will go ahead and admit something that I did. After I watched this Fantastic Four, I went ahead and went onto YouTube, and it is there, the full Roger Corman Fantastic Four. And I saw it. Now, they made that movie for $1 million. And I'm going to go ahead and say what they did in there with that $1 million was better than this movie with 120 million that they spent on it?
I think they spent 20 on reshoots, actually.
Yeah. There was a
Yeah,
reason.
they spent how much did they reshoot? About a third?
2/3 of that
Two-thirds?
entire movie was reshot, and you can tell. You can tell what was reshot.
Oh yeah, that's a big problem.
I think what these companies need to keep in mind is that when somebody turns around and says that they want to do something that with something like this that's never been done before, that should automatically raise a red flag. You're
Yeah,
not
but
supposed to reinvent the wheel when you have something like this. You reinvent the wheel with something that you created, not with something that somebody else created and people are expecting it to be a certain way. He took
I
his
need to go
artistic
ahead.
build it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to go ahead and insert something that because I had this conversation with basically a guest that we had at Bordy City Comic-Con, and he said that the director, unfortunately, they placed him in there thinking, because he did one great, movie for On the Cheap, Chronicles, that he would be their wonderkin, and basically they put him out there in the front, sort of like an young M. Night Shyamalan, and unfortunately he was not ready yet for this film. But yet they still put him in there, and also of what he says, and he's on the inside in regards to Hollywood because he lives out there, and he does work with the movies. He said that the studio kept on forcing him to do certain things,
Well,
and
hold
that
on. We'll talk
basically
about
he
David.
was not ready for this.
Okay, David, hold on that. Gino, you had a comment?
Well, no, just to add on to what he's saying. When we talk about this movie, logically speaking, the only reason that he's doing this movie is they wanted to draw in the young crowd. That's the reason he made this movie. That's the reason they got
Yes.
him. He did a great job with Chronicles, because with Chronicles, they did it to all the young audience. And not only the young audience. A lot of people like that movie, but specifically, young audiences really liked it, And I think they were trying to capture that same magic with this. They wanted him to, do the same magic and bring in the young crowd, which, that's why that's why everybody in the movie, except for, let me see. Never mind. Everybody No, everybody's bad in this movie. No matter their age.
But that's what I'm saying.
The reason they brought in the young people in the movie was that they're trying to get the in crowd. And I think Josh Trank did the mistake right at the beginning when this movie was coming out, where he alienated the fan base that was already there, trying to appeal to the young audience. That's why he said, this is going to be a reimagining. This is going to be something new. This is going to be something you've never seen. Into the new, this is going to be new. Trying to get into the new crowd, trying to get the young people to see it. And you know what I mean? Well, you know what happened, but I think that was the logic behind Josh Trank,
Well, let's see here. Sherman?
I think it all goes back to that artistic license. I mean, what was that movie that y'all were talking about that he made? The first one, Chronicle.
Chronicles?
Okay, Chronicle was an okay movie. I mean, it wasn't anything that people were gonna go out and buy, DVDs by the buttload, but it was a decent movie. You bought it?
No, online.
Yeah. Also, here's me when I heard that. I'm like, do you know about money?
Yeah, I was going to be. Yeah. I thought he would wait until it was in the library to go ahead and rent it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you got to think about it. Chronicle was made for a small budget. He didn't have a studio, breathing down his butt on this, going ahead and telling him, you're going to do this, you're going to do that with Chronicle. And plus, it was his own story. He can do whatever he wants with his own story. The problem is, number one, you got known characters. You got well-known characters with established storylines and established personalities, and you got all this stuff going on, and then you got him saying, all right, we're going to do this different. I'm going to make this new. And it's like, no, that's wrong. And the studio, when they were just going in and then they had the reshoots, they reshot about a third of the film, they got scared. They got scared, so badly that they reshot they should have reshot the entire film. Just fired him, reshot the film, get some good writers from Marvel, begged Marvel, did whatever, give it back to Marvel, give it back to the people who spawned it, and then just let them take care of it. And come on, Marvel canceled their series.
Well, let's just clarify one thing here.
Mm.
The director was definitely out of his league.
Mm-hmm.
This movie
Agreed.
was too big, and I think we can all agree on that one, right?
Agreed.
Yeah. Now, well, I do think this is the rookie. He's only got one movie under his belt, and Fantastic Four, you expect it. You cannot settle for a low-budget Chronicle remake. It has to be epic.
Yeah, let me interject something real quick. It wasn't just Trank that they brought in. You also got to remember they brought the screenwriter from Chronicles in, so it's both of them. And it's easy to lay everything on him, but the screenwriter also has something to did play some part in what we saw.
Actually,
But
what I
again, they should have
understand.
diversified at that point.
Well, hold on, David.
Actually, when I was talking to my contact over at Boise City Comic-Con, and basically, as he said it, one of the things is that the studio gave him specific things that they wanted. Number one, they wanted to be Nolan-like, like a Nolan film. That's why it was darker, serious. They wanted the young crowd in there. And the thing is that he was out of his league in regards to, it's not his fault, but the thing is that they brought him in there, and then they kept on interfering, of what I understand and what I heard. And the thing is that when they were not happy with this product, basically he said, you know what, it's yours, I'm not doing this anymore, and he basically backed off.
Well, this is an example of a movie too big for him. He was not ready for this. The studio, again, when it comes to blaming, the screenwriter sort of, the screenwriter posted on Twitter, like 4 pages, and then he posted another like 6 random pages of his original script, which I gotta admit started off good. In case you haven't followed, his original script in the beginning scene was the Fantastic Four fighting off the U.S. Army, because the original plot of the movie was that they get their powers and they're on the run from the government. And then somewhere along the way, the studio said, no, we can't make the government the bad guy. Like, that's never happened before. And so,
No, instead they go ahead and hire the guy from Brother Where Art Thou to go ahead and play the general.
Well,
And he
you
didn't
know-
look like anything like a general. I kept on going ahead and have flashbacks to holes.
Well, here's the thing about that character, though. Anyone could play that. Chino could play that character, and he could have probably brought that character a little bit more to life. I don't know. I don't think so.
Hold on. Real quick, though, I don't think he was a general. You're talking about the guy who was going to be the leader, right? I don't think he was a general. He was more like a corporate guy.
dude.
Yeah, he was
yeah.
a business dude.
He's like a business
So let's
dude.
turn it that.
Yeah, but that guy was not anybody. I mean, he didn't bring any life to the character. It wasn't a character that was memorable. In fact, if you didn't remind me that he was there, I would have forgotten. Seriously.
Well, all of these characters are forgettable.
I gotta say right now that us 4 could have been the better Fantastic Four.
5.
Oh, sorry, 5.
Who's
Well,
the
I
robot?
mean,
Who's the robot?
I'd have been the daddy.
David gets to be Doctor Doom. Okay.
I would have been the daddy that died.
Hey, I don't mind, but I'm the Doctor Doom with the actual mask,
David.
and I'm the
David,
Doom.
do an Eastern European accent.
Why?
This is your Doctor Doom.
I will,
It's Dr. Doom, man.
I will get you.
See, wow, bravo,
Bravo, bravo.
You have it, yeah, bravo.
Fantastic
You are
Four,
Dr. Doom.
you shall not escape me.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
you know what? I would insist on the mask, though. That's just...
His face would scare anybody. Oh, talking about the mask.
And don't
What was
forget
this
the
idea? Yeah, what was this idea of making him? Oh, his visor fused himself. Make it metal. Make it look like Doctor Doom. Instead, he looked like a crash test dummy.
You know, I was talking to Sherman about this, and I think I figured out what they were trying to do. I think what they did is they did the same mistake they've always done. You know, they called them Doom, but I think they tried to mix them with Annihilus. That's what they were
Yeah.
trying to do. They were
Yeah.
trying to make one character be both. You know, and it makes sense. I mean, Annihilus is the ruler, de facto ruler of Negative Zone, or Planet Zero, as they called it in this thing. You know.
That was stupid.
Yeah,
Now,
that-
I just want to bring up something about Doom, though. You know what? There was no respect for Doom's origins and the fact that he is a true scientist, and he's also a mystic. He has magic. He knows magic. He understands black magic. In fact, that's the reason why he hates Reed so much, because he made a machine to try to save his mom from a demonic dude. Reed said it wasn't going to work. Don't try it. And he did anyway because he's so arrogant, and Doom ended up where he is. Not liking Reed Richards.
Well, here's the main issue I want to point out, and this is why I tell everybody I've spoken to about this movie, I tell them, don't see it, because my God, there is only one action scene, a superhero movie with only one action scene.
I don't
And
call
that's
that
the
an
last-
action scene.
I'm
I
talking
don't
about
call
the
it an
last
action
10
scene.
minutes of the movie.
Well,
No,
it's
that wasn't
barely,
an action scene.
It's barely one.
You talking about when Johnny Storm was shooting down the planes?
Well, no, everybody at the end was fighting down, and that was the point people said. You brought it up when you said Johnny Storm. The trailer had the thing falling down from an airplane. And,
Yeah, that was practice.
yeah,
It was gone.
not even in the movie.
Now,
Yeah, from what-
by the way, did you ever hear the thing say it's clobbering time?
At the
Yeah.
We
end,
heard,
At the end.
Once.
yeah.
we heard his brother say it at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
You
That's
know,
true.
from what I understood, they didn't have the budget to finish that scene with him falling out of the plane. That's what I read somewhere.
See, that's dumb. That should have been like one of the main scenes there.
And they had.
I take that back. It was a practice scene anyhow. So.
You know, what was the name of the actor that played Johnny Storm?
I don't know.
No.
Not Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. That's it.
Michael Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Michael J. Jordan.
The only reason I think he was in the movie was because of Josh Trank. I think Josh Trank fought to put him in the movie. And when I think about that, I'm thinking, you know, is Jordan happy about that or not? After how this came out, you know, is he like, thanks, Josh, or is he like, thanks, Josh? You know.
Well, I feel bad. No, I feel bad for him because he's a good actor, and he's a decent actor. And he had an uphill battle because he keeps thinking, "Oh, they don't like me because I'm the black guy. They don't like me." And I wish I could tell him it's not because you're black. It's because the movie around you really, really sucks. It sucks balls.
Well, you know, as much as Jordan didn't make any sense being in the movie, neither did Ben Grimm make any sense being in the movie. Why wasn't he in the movie?
I was just about to say that.
Aside from carrying stuff, what else did he really do in the movie? That's the whole. No. Let me rephrase it. Aside from carrying the stuff and forgetting the model car, that was kind of the point of him in the whole movie.
And crying. You left me. You left me.
And you know
Where
what?
were you?
That's another point. That's another point in itself, because you know what? You got the Thing, is going through so much pain being the Thing. He hates being the Thing, and he's in so much pain. But he's often the voice of reason. Why are we doing this? Are you sure we should be doing this? What's wrong with that?
My biggest problem with this movie, and this is the biggest problem I have, and let's see if you guys can tack onto it. You know, there's an old expression in writing that says you're supposed to show, not tell. They don't show you anything in this movie. They tell you everything in this movie. I mean, They tell you Reed Richards is a genius, you know, and it makes me wonder, okay, if this guy's such a genius, why did he spend all of his education trying to get a portal that never actually worked? That doesn't exactly demonstrate genius, you know what I mean? That demonstrates that you're really bad at science, not the other way around, you know?
Well,
if he'd have made a flying car, I would have been happy. I would like, oh, cool. Okay, now I think he's a genius, you know? But they spend a lot of the movie convincing you he's a genius, you know?
Well, let me bring
He
something.
did achieve one thing.
Well, go ahead,
sorry.
David. No, go ahead, David, then I'll go.
He did achieve one thing on that, and very early on in his career. That machine was able to go ahead and destroy the basketball hoops.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a sore point. You guys are bringing up to me, it's one of the biggest sore points. And I'll ask you guys if you could agree. The first half hour of the movie, completely useless.
Yes.
I expected him to make a billion. I'm sorry.
I hated how they started.
What?
It just irritated me because it was like, I guess they're doing what y'all said they were doing, trying to go back and trying to get the kids involved, but just that whole timeline portion at the beginning is just I found it irritating. And then they make it up by making it into and then they try to make it up by taking the kids and putting them in a special school.
Special education at its best.
And just to tack on, the other thing I really disliked about this movie, you guys can agree with me on this one. I hated how the teacher was portrayed, and apparently in this school there's only one teacher, apparently, from what I understood from the movie,
Right.
Apparently he taught, 3rd grade and high school, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of the impression I got. But anyways, I dislike
Give up on
how
your dreams.
The teacher is seeing something amazing, and apparently the teacher is too dumb to recognize what it is. But some dude and his daughter walking by, oh wow, hey, what? I don't know. I found that kind of insulting. But then again, you know why I think they did that is, again, they're trying to appeal to the younger audience. So, teachers are the bad guys. Oh, adults are bad.
Well, if you guys, for the first 30 minutes of the film, and I was going to say this before my internet went sucky, for the first 30 minutes of the film, I was expecting them to go ahead and make a spaceship out of a trash can and a washing machine.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the exact same thing.
You know what I'm talking about. Or the other kids out there.
Oh, your internet's going off kind of bad right now. And well, I wanted to mention too that part of the issue, I think part of it is that one, discussing the plot in itself, of course, we can talk about. They were not loyal at all to the course material. The director, I mean, Chino, I know you brought it up when we talked about it a few shows ago, how the director just recanted what he said, saying, "Oh, it's an imagining," and then later he said, "Oh no, I've read the comic books," and we all like, "Shut up, you liar." Clearly, and here's the thing. At the end, I'm going to ask you guys, who do you blame? Don't say half and half, no. We got to blame somebody, so I'm starting right now. One, I blame the director. I blame the director because he let this happen. A director should not have let this happen at all. The director should have said, you know what? This script is bad. Any director coming out of film school would know this is a bad film. Two, he should have stuck to his guns. He should have said, hey, this movie sucks. You guys want to take it away from me? Make it official, and I'll post up saying I'm done with this movie, and I'll walk away. But instead, he moped in his tent. He moped around like a little bitch, and he let them take his movie.
Watch your mouth now.
Sorry, but it had to be said. Or biatch, I don't know. But it had to be said. He was spineless. So again, I'm blaming the director. The director, again, put his name on this film. And then after the fact, now that it got released and all that, he's starting to say, oh, the studio took it away from me. The studio did that. Yeah, the studio did. But you know what? You should have screamed it out loud at first, and you should have realized, you know what? This movie's too big for me.
My name's Shawn Michaels. My name's Shawn Michaels, and I want to kick the director in the face because the movie sucked.
I don't know. It's, you know, let's talk about the first two. I mean, did you like the first two? I liked the first one. First one was okay for me. It wasn't a great movie, but it made sense. You know what I mean? And maybe that's the problem I have with this one. It didn't make any sense to me, you know? Right from the start, it doesn't make sense to me. I think they're right. I've read a lot of people saying they didn't want this to be, an origin movie, and I think that it probably shouldn't have gone that way. I think maybe it would have been better if it wasn't. I don't know if it was Trank that wanted that, or if it was the studio that wanted to have an origin movie again, you know? I don't know. I think it was a bad move to begin with.
I think I have to agree with you there, because, I mean, when was the first one made? What, early 2000s?
2001, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
I thought it was later than that.
Oh, 2005 and 2007 were the two movies.
Okay.
Right.
2 years apart.
Yeah, not that long ago to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah, only 8.
But still, I mean, the first one. Let me mention what it had. It had great casting, and
yeah, it had Jessica Alba.
Yeah, the weakness out of that movie was the bad guy, and that kind of ruined the whole movie because Julian McMahon is a horrible actor. He's not appealing at all. I don't even know why he gets cast in anything. He's just terrible. Even in Nip Tuck, I mean, he's terrible. And the plot and all of it, I thought was pretty okay. The origin of it, I thought, again, was okay. The space, the radiation, you know, Michael Chiklis as a thing, I thought was, again, he was really good.
I agree. It made more sense.
It was enjoyable, and it had some action.
Yeah.
You know, when I was watching the movie, I was thinking of Shermont, and you know, Shermont's comment about that sometimes they sexify the females too much, and I was thinking, well, No, Sherman, you got a Sue Storm here with zero sex appeal. No sex appeal throughout the movie. You know what I mean? And they wanted to, and it gets worse than that. Because come on, she's not even part of the group that goes to Planet Zero. You know what I mean?
You know what? That totally caught me off guard.
That was bad. I mean, first off, they're trying to pass her off as being really intelligent and being on par with everybody else. That's kind of what they're going. And then they switch gears on you and going, oh, but you can't play with the big boys. You have to go. What are you saying? And the worst thing for her, and I feel bad for the character she portrays because her character comes out as a teacher's pet. That's basically what she comes out as. You know what I mean? She doesn't come out as a competent scientist. She doesn't come out as part of the team. No, she's the teacher's pet. I'm gonna go tell my daddy. That was it, and that's kind of sad.
Well, I hate to say this.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Orly.
Well, I didn't feel like watching The Breakfast Club again, especially that character, that dark character. That's basically how I saw the portrayal of her. It was that gloomy girl from The Breakfast Club. That's what I got to say about her. No, but the film suffered a lot. It suffered from, number one, bad writing. I think the writer. Number one, he was told, okay, we want to come up with something really, really different. Well, you know what? You can do a lot with the material at hand. And who the heck says that this has to be an origin story? Shouldn't have been. We already have the origin story. We know where the Fantastic Four came from. We know who they are. We know everything about them. Why the heck make an origin story? Make something original. I want to see some adventures in the Negative Zone. I want to see I want to see them actually traveling around. I want to see my flying car. I want to see my flying car. You know what? When they say, "Oh, what happened to your flying car?" "Oh, I stopped working on it." Hey, that's a kid that's a quitter and also a very, very, how do you say it? What's the word? Obsessive compulsive over this portal. Okay, you know what? You got other things to do, other smart things. That's where he doesn't come off very smart. He's just obsessive compulsive about one thing and one thing only. Why couldn't he be obsessive compulsive about a car? That would have been so great. That would have been so great.
Oh, and to tack on, that was the one thing that bugged me. They kept throwing that in there, and again, they kept throwing that in there to make him appear like he was really smart. Oh, you could have destroyed the world. Oh, you could have destroyed the world. They kept bringing it up. Oh, I didn't know. Well, for a super genius, how do you not know you can destroy the world? That doesn't make you sound like a super genius. That sounds like a mad genius. That's what, a mad scientist is what you're coming off as,
Well,
okay. Well, and I got to save this about this. Just one last thing. I got a microwave here in my room along with some computer parts. Let's go ahead and make a flux capacitor.
1.21 gigawatts.
Okay, so here I go. I do blame the studio, and I think that the director was over his head, and he didn't have the steel.
Meanwhile, David,
are we losing David?
About to say,
I don't think it's
you're not going to do this to this film. I felt that basically didn't have enough power behind him.
David, we lost you, dude. And I think we actually did lose him.
Actually, he turned into a robot.
Yeah,
Dude.
I think he's having a stroke.
He's there.
Oh, I'm
He
here.
got
Do you hear me now?
You're
No,
choppy,
dude.
dude.
You're coming in really choppy,
Do you
dude.
hear me now?
No.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay.
but you're
No.
coming in really choppy.
And I don't see your face. That's just as an improvement. Hello?
You need to stop using that AOL.
Okay, how about now? How about now?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get to it
Can
before
you
we
see
lose
me?
again.
No, but
No.
it's okay. That's a favor. That's a
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can do this again. As I was saying, I blame the studio. I think that the director was shoved in this without any support. I think that basically he was fed to the sharks, and the sharks were all the head of the studio. I don't think that he had enough clout to go ahead and say no to anything that they had to say. They said, either you have this in there, we want it dark, so shoot everything dark. All of that, and also I don't know if I can blame the writer, because apparently they didn't use his script. But I mean, I don't think that this film basically had a studio that was really backing it up. They were thinking, oh, we need to go ahead and ride the Marvel's train, gravy train, and since it has the name Marvel on it, it's going to go ahead and be a hit. And unfortunately for them, the word got out very early that it was stinking. Pretty bad. I mean, this stank more than a warehouse full of Limburger.
You know, when I think about this movie, there's two things that bother me. One, I think the original, if they didn't have Jeff trying to make the movie he was gonna make, it would have been boring. It would have been a bit boring movie. You know, as bad as it is now with all the reshoots, I think if they left it alone, it still wouldn't have been a good movie. You know.
No.
And let me see. What was my other point? Okay, never mind. I can't remember my second point. I'll get to it in a minute.
I agree. I want to say I agree with Chino completely. The movie with the director alone, I think of the director alone, it was a disaster. And the studio tried to salvage it badly. I mean, they should have. Well, let me give you an example of why I blame the director. And this was the scene where I watched it at the movie theater. And again, I was like watching it, and I realized, okay, director, you're a shitty. I cuss. Sorry. You are an awful director, and it was because of this scene. It was, and I'm talking about the scene where Reed Richards is on the run. He's in South America, and the U.S. government comes in, and it sort of goes into an action scene because you see Reed Richards fighting, which is something they should have done in the original movies. But I still thought, okay, here's some potential. I was like watching it. I was like, okay, here's some potential. I wanted to see Reed Richards fight, which is something we never saw in the other movies. Like physically, like you see him like twisting and turning, you know, the potential for a stretchy guy to fight. And then it led to it, and then the Thing dropped down, and I was like, okay, this is a cool fight. The Thing versus Reed Richards. And I'm thinking potential for an awesome fight. What ended up happening? The Thing head bumps Reed Richards, and it's over. You had a potential for a cool fighting scene of Reed Richards versus the Thing, and then you decide to go for the easy out of a head bump. You head bumped a rubber man? Really?
Yeah, it should have been to where you saw the impression of the Thing's face on his forehead, and he's going, really? You think that's going to work on me?
And it should have been a fight. It should have been a really cool fight of a strong guy throwing punches to a guy who can take them, and he'll bounce and he'll twist and
then they could have stopped him by tasing him.
Myself, I think they kept on mixing up the Thing with the Hulk.
No.
And I know they're very similar, but the thing is that, I mean, his fighting style was very much the Hulk.
No.
I didn't feel that he was separated.
He didn't really have a fighting style.
Yeah, no.
He didn't have pants either.
Yes, the pants. Yes, the pants. Yeah, you know who I blame. I mean, we were talking about blame, and I think the biggest blame. I'm not the first one to say this. People have already said it already, and the blame with this movie is it's a grab just to keep the rights to the movie. That's the biggest blame this movie has. You know,
and
it's
that's
not a movie
executives.
made because. Yeah, it's not a movie they made because they wanted to make this movie. It's not a movie they made because they love the content. It's not a movie they made to make the fans happy. No, this is just a movie they made to keep the rights. That's it, and that's why it's so bad. You know?
And that's also why they couldn't delay it and fix it. And
hold on, guys. David, don't.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
No, I
They
mean,
couldn't- They couldn't delay it to fix it because they needed to get it out that month, or else the next month it would revert.
and it cost them a lot. It cost them a lot to keep the rights, and the sequels canceled, of course, and and I think pretty much the writing's on the wall. The mouse is like laughing his head off.
Oh, well,
But
let's go ahead, Sherman.
But here's the thing about all that, Renee. You say that and that they spent all this money, but did they gain anything?
No.
I think all they did was lost. They lost money, and they lost respect.
Yeah, but we're gonna forgive them. Deadpool's coming out in February.
Deadpool's a whole nother thing, man. I mean,
Yeah.
here they, and here's the thing: if they say Fantastic Four reboot coming in 2 years, we're still gonna like roll our eyes and go, "Oh Lord, here we go again."
They're gonna try it again.
Yeah, well, let's talk history. I mean, we gotta remember that the only reason they kept Fantastic Four was because they let go of Daredevil. You know what I mean? So think about that. Think about, and we already know that Fox and Marvel Studios, they don't have a good relationship. They don't, And let's talk about, the reason the reason Daredevil got let go was because they wanted to keep Fantastic Four. They didn't, Marvel, I think, originally said, well, you know what, we'll let you keep Daredevil and, just give us Fantastic Four. And they're like, oh, no, you can have it.
Well,
Now think about that. Look at what Marvel did with Daredevil. You know what I mean, man? Think about what they did to Daredevil. How bad does that make look? How bad does that make Fox look? You know what I mean? They did something awesome with Daredevil.
And this is why Disney's going to win at the end. Disney can hold it all together without a worry. 20th Century Fox, Sony Studios, well, they lost Spider-Man. And they're holding on to X-Men for dear life.
Oh yeah.
But again, they have to hold on to it. They're probably going to lose Fantastic Four because of the money, and Disney can lose money on a Marvel movie and not sweat it.
We got the parks.
Yeah, because they're like, you know what? We're building Marvel Land in a few years. You know what?
We got Marvel Land, Star Wars Land, all those lands. Yay!
They're like, you know what? We made money with Avengers, Age of Ultron. You know what? We're going to make money with Captain America, Civil War. We're going to make money with Doctor Strange because we know how to do movies. Yeah.
Speaking
of
are we going to talk about
Ant-Man.
Doctor Strange?
I think that's going to be pretty good.
Again, I trust Marvel at this point. I think Marvel will do it.
I'm
And
sorry.
they have an actor
it
that
just
does
irritates
it.
me.
Can do it.
Yeah, but Benedict Cumberbatch is a good guy, great actor. I don't like him in his Doctor Strange role.
I agree with you up to a point. I don't like him, but it kind of suits the roles he plays. Because majority of the time, he plays very superior, very smug characters. He does. Look at Sherlock. He's a very superior, smug, arrogant character.
Jimmy
Khan, when he
Smits.
played Khan.
Jimmy Smits could have played Doctor Strange better than what's his face, Cumberbatch.
Jimmy Smits, really?
Okay, he's a little old now, but he could have done it a couple years ago.
Okay, I just want to go ahead and say one thing. What do you guys think of the fact that Spider-Man is now living in the Baxter Building?
I heard about that.
Yeah, that's funny.
That is.
I don't know.
I think that was a swipe, but that's
I
just
don't know. I
Hey,
don't know. We had
Parker Enterprises.
Yeah.
you know what announcement I liked, and I like this this casting. Baxter Gold being
Nathan
Booster.
Fillion.
Booster.
Booster Gold.
Booster
Baxter
Gold. Sorry,
Gold.
not Baxter Gold. Booster Gold. Sorry, Booster Gold being Jason
Nathan.
Fillion.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan.
Nathan Fillion. You-
All names messed
You're
up.
off today, dude. You're like drunk
Oh.
on me.
They're just words.
Hey! It's the first week of school. I'm not used to being back to school yet.
Well, that's
It
sad.
sapped my brain.
You need to go that way.
You know, Nathan would be turning in his grave if he was dead.
Sorry, Nathan.
Now, that's the same guy that played Firefly, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
if I
Captain
run
Mal.
into him, I'm gonna tell him this, man. He's gonna punch
Yep.
you in the face. You know?
I'm sorry.
And you'll thank him
love
too
you.
for punching you in the face.
Hey, I've already had William Shatner called me old, so you know it doesn't matter.
That's true. But, you know, I like the news. I kind of agree with Sherman. Maybe it is just talk, but I think he would be a great Booster Gold. If, you know, even just as a small part, it'd be great.
Oh, you know, it is really sad because he would be so great in a lot of things. I mean, 15 years ago, he would have made an awesome Green Lantern. But time. And, you know, he's getting old and fat. So he's starting to look like Bruce Campbell. So, you know,
True,
that is
Bruce
on
Campbell
show.
looks great.
well,
Where is
no,
that?
he's kind of chubby, you know.
Hey, he's got that thing. He had
Hey,
in the
he's-
trailer.
He's
He's just
making that
getting
work.
ready to play Elvis
Hey,
again.
hey, he was just playing that Burn Rotus role.
Yeah. But still, I'm not denying his greatness. Okay, and again, if Bruce Campbell punches David in the face, you know, we'll
Hey,
all
I didn't say it. You did.
Who's Renee?
Blame the other guy.
Yeah, but I gotta say, you know, that it's good roles that they're playing. Now, yeah, he could be good. He could be a great Booster Gold.
He has the arrogance for it.
Yeah, but again, it's the age thing that's happening. People don't realize how old Nathan Fillion is.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's in his
In his
50s.
40s. In his 50s?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
No, he can't be
I mean,
that.
Yeah, he can't play Booster
Okay,
Gold.
Wikipedia, here we
Gotta
come.
be a young guy.
I'll ask Google right now. Let's see here. David, put it on mute.
There's plenty of younger guys.
He
that can
is
play.
44 years old.
And-
Yeah, I didn't think he was that old.
I mean, even with that, you know, Booster Gold is not that, you know, he's not that
Yeah.
great of a character.
Well,
That's probably
it's
why
not,
he picked it, man.
it's not memorable, you know.
Yeah, and
Again,
that's what I mean.
but still, we got to point out, you know. I mean, Matt. I mean, I was gonna say Ben Affleck is in his 40s. Jared Leto is in his 40s. Henry Cavill is in his early 30s. What's her name? The one who plays Lois Lane is actually in her late 30s.
I don't like
forgot
her.
who plays Lois Lane. Is it Isla Fisher?
No,
No.
it's
That'd be great, though. She came out in Muppets. What's her name? I didn't like her in that either.
well, you just don't like her, period.
Yeah.
I liked her in Smallville. I liked her in
Don't lie.
Enchanted.
Don't
I
lie.
didn't like her in those two movies.
She was in Smallville.
Yeah, she was the chunky girl that started drinking that kryptonite diet to lose weight.
Oh yeah, I
First
forgot
season.
about that. And then what's her name? You know, so all these actors are a little bit older, and yeah, you technically could, but Nathan Fillion, you know, it's tough because we keep seeing him in a certain way now, and I just don't see it.
Yeah, you know, when I think of Booster Gold, I think of somebody that is, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger strong and Arnold Schwarzenegger built. So it would have to be somebody young, blonde, and in that manner.
You know what role would be perfect? We'll never see it, and he's already done this role. He did the voice for it in Justice League or Justice League Unlimited. He had a character called he was in the show a character called Vigilante, which was kind of like a cowboy. He had a motorcycle, he had guns and stuff like that. And he was a really intriguing character in the show. If they could do that in real life, he'd be great for that, man.
Well, he was the voice of
Everything-
it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If they
Yeah.
got him to do that, to reprise that role, he'd be great. I'm not sure how you would justify him in the movie, but you know what I mean? That would be great. We're not going to see that. But
You know, I would cast him in like the Flash or the Green Arrow series. I think
As
that'd
what?
be a better fit for him.
oh, as what, Vigilante or somebody
Yeah,
else?
Nathan Fillion as Vigilante.
Oh, yeah, you know what? That's a good, yeah, you're right. That would be a good fit.
And then, speaking of it, we got to be moving on because our time is running short. I want to talk about like the movies that we're looking forward to next year. And I got to say, next year, it's looking to be better than this year. I mean, Batman versus Superman looks epic. It really does. It
Forget
just
that.
looks stunning.
Episode 7's coming.
Well, that's this
Well,
year.
that's this year.
That's this
I know,
year, and
but
that's a whole
still.
other. Fine, let's talk about it.
And
That's
then
all
I'm
I
going to
wanna
say
say.
it's going to go ahead and eclipse everything. It's like everything's going to be small compared to that.
Well,
I'm
if
not gonna-
they
that's the
were all
thing,
coming
ain't it?
out in December, I would agree
Exactly.
with you. But you know, I was talking about next summer. But yes, episode 7 is coming out in December, and yes, that's going to
18th.
eclipse everything. But it's we're going to move on. By the time April comes along.
Yeah, we're
No,
gonna
it'll
be
be out on
by the time
Blu-ray then.
January comes along nowadays.
All right. No, okay. Not Winter Soldier. Civil War's going to be good.
Yeah,
That we're waiting for.
the trailer we saw is good. The lineup has been revealed on whose side is which, and it's basically like another Avengers movie. That's the thing.
Do you have the list?
It's
I
on our
hope so.
Facebook page.
I hope so, because we had high hopes for Age of Ultron, and the movie was okay. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be, So we gotta ask ourselves: is the Marvel machine running out of steam?
I don't think it
No.
is. I think it's you can't break new ground really, especially with Avengers and all that. I think that's people were expecting like groundbreaking, but you really can't. How far can you go aside from the? We're heading toward the Infinity War, and that's
where it's gonna
basically.
really get good.
And even then, it's not going to be really what we expect it to be.
I gotta agree with you there. Yeah, you have a good point. I have to agree with you. Because really, when it comes to Age of Ultron, I was expecting a lot more out of the movie, and I didn't get it. And I did feel disappointed when it
let
came
me
to
ask you-
Ant-Man.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you, what could they have done? Because this is a question somebody brought up. What more could they have done?
That's a good question.
The bar was set high, and they
Yeah.
reached that bar, but they couldn't exceed it because they had already done everything with it.
I think for me the biggest problem is Tony Stark. I think too much of the movie focuses on him. You know what I mean? And we come to expect him to be the funny guy. We kind of expect him to go do all the kind of things. And unfortunately, they use him to carry the movie, which kind of derails from everything else. You know what I mean? We could have done a lot more. We could have had more scenes with Ultron. I think that would have been more interesting.
I disagree. The person that I think stole too much of the movie was Hawkeye. And also that whole scene of going ahead and seeing Captain America chopping wood. How much time did we have him chopping wood? Was it really
From my file.
necessary?
Well, that and we have the problem with Tony Stark doing this thing that just happened to work out, and it's never addressed, That also bugged me.
I think I gotta agree with Sherman. I'm on Sherman's side with this. That the bar's high, and you gotta do like some amazing leaps and bounds, and you just can't do it. You're.
I don't know. Go ahead, Orly.
Well, I was about to just say I could have used more singing from Ultron. I wanted a whole musical number from him. It's just that I got no strings to hold me down wasn't enough, man. I needed It's a Small World too, and
No, you got that.
Oh, let it go.
and let it go, that would have been great.
I don't know. Maybe
I've got
Maybe-
no strings to hold me down.
The
Maybe,
cold never bothered me anyway.
Ultron duet. You can have a.
No, that's for Iceman.
I think my problem probably is I had too much expectations for Age of Ultron and it didn't meet them. But when it came to Ant-Man, I had really not them. I didn't have any expectations, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was surprised how good it was.
Yeah,
More my lord
And I liked it.
How much was that? My expectations.
See, this is you, Chino. You say no expectations, expectations. Any Marvel movie that comes out, the rest of us have to have high expectations. I mean, the Marvel name just escalated it, because of all these awesome movies. The bar is high for anything.
well,
I
Yeah.
mean, and
Even for the independent ones such as Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy proved that even if it's an unknown series, because not many people knew about Guardians of the Galaxy except for us comic book nerds, it showed that Marvel can make a good movie from practically anything, unlike Fox.
I don't. Well, I'll disagree with you. I'm hoping Marvel's gonna have a bomb. It is. It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I'm not sure when it's gonna happen, but the line is there. And I'm worried about when it's gonna hit, and I'm kind of worried about that. What's it gonna do to comic book movies? Because I love them, but we're already hearing people getting tired of them.
well, I got to point out, Pixar's had a bomb, but it hasn't stopped Pixar.
mhm.
And the thing is, they already had their bomb, and they still made a whole bunch of money from it. It was called Iron Man 3.
I don't think that bombed, dude. That didn't
Yeah,
bomb.
Iron
That
Man-
made
No,
money.
no.
Pixar
That-
had
that-
Iron Man 3.
Not good. No, I'm talking about Marvel already had their bomb, which is
Yeah, you
in
said
my
Pixar.
case. Did I? Okay.
Oh, you threw me off. I was like,
Marvel, Marvel had a bomb with Iron Man 3,
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
No,
but
it
it
didn't.
made money. It still made money.
No,
No,
that
it
don't
wasn't
call
a bomb, dude.
bomb.
it was the worst of the three. It wasn't a bomb.
Yeah. No, I don't think that they can. They're gonna go ahead and make a movie that's gonna go ahead and suck that bad.
And here's the problem, David, is that Iron Man 3 wasn't a bomb, and there's tons of people who liked it. Our opinion is
Yeah.
different, and a lot of comic book fans agree, but the majority of the movie audience, who's just the regular movie audience, they liked it.
And it
And-
didn't hurt that Tony
No, it
Stark
didn't.
had a Subway sandwich in his hand, unlike Jared.
Oh, no.
Oh.
We said that we were not gonna bring him into this. Leave Jared out of
You know,
this.
Iron Man 3. That's not my fault.
You know what? Before we move on, though, I gotta say this, and I was thinking of saying this a long time ago. Okay, you guys remember Iron Man 1, right?
Yeah.
You remember Kate Mara came out in that, right? She was a U.S.
Mhm.
Marshal. Okay, that one scene was better than all her scenes of Fantastic Four. Okay.
No.
Oh.
See, now you making me want to
Yeah,
go back and watch
tell me
Iron
I'm
Man 1.
wrong.
I don't remember that.
Don't make me
I'm
cough.
wrong. Tell me
Yeah.
I'm wrong, man.
But I just have to say this about Ant-Man. Okay, I had high expectations for the movie itself. I had no expectation of Paul Rudd. I had no good expectations from him. I was like, okay, I had bad expectations. I expected his
I
part to be
agree.
so awful that I wouldn't like the movie.
Well, it was Leguizamo. I can't say his name.
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo that basically went ahead and stole the show on that one.
John
Leguizamo
Leguizamo was
was-
not in the movie.
He was not. That was
Leguizamo
another.
was
Oh, no. Who was that guy?
That's
Oh,
Luis, man.
okay.
Luis. That's
Sorry. My fault.
Luis Pena? Michael Pena?
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. Yeah.
Well, I
Too late
give
to
credit.
speak up.
I give credit, and I'm going to say this about Paul Rudd. He was smart. He
I agree.
downplayed it. He could have been the zany guy that comes out in all his Hangover movies and This Is 40 and all those other comedies that he does. He could have been the zany guy. Instead, he decided to be the mellow, downplay guy to be safe because he was acting opposite, Michael Douglas. He was acting opposite all these great actors, and he knew he's not up there with them. So he didn't try to upstage him. Instead, he just tried to carry the scene. And thankfully, he's good enough to carry a scene. And hopefully, again, he'll maybe grow into it a little bit better because, he really doesn't do dramas. He really doesn't do action movies. Actually, I think this was his first action movie ever. And
I think you're right. I can't.
I don't know
think
when he was in that movie This Is 40 and he was trying to hide or catch the mouse or whatever, he was jumping around in that bed pretty hard.
Well, another surprise this year for me, and the thing is that it shows that he is now a leading man, was Chris Pratt in Jurassic World.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He did a good job, I felt.
Well, we knew he was going to be, I mean, his stock came in when he did Guardians of the Galaxy. We knew when
Yeah. But no, this proved it wasn't a one-hit wonder. I mean, this proved it was not a one-hit wonder, and it proved to me that them looking for him to play Indiana Jones would be a good choice.
It would. It would. And again, he made the movie good. I got to give him credit. The movie was pretty good on its own, and he helped make it good. You know, when they were like, the kids were like, I want to stay with him. You know?
Your boyfriend.
All I know is that chick was running in them hills.
Oh yeah.
I give her props on that, boy. She did that and didn't break an ankle.
You know,
in the NBA.
And then the Velociraptor's not eating him, going, "It's so beautiful."
You know, before we go, when we're close, you know, there's two things I want to mention before we leave, and this thing's coming up. I'm kind of happy that in Arrow they managed to get the actor that played Constantine to do a role in the show, which I thought was great. It's awesome that they got Constantine to come out in Arrow. I'm happy that they got that going on. You know, it's a shame they.
I'm hoping
the show.
that they get. I'm hoping that CW is going to pick them up, and
we'll see. Yeah.
Possible, because it would be a smart choice for them.
I'm just happy they got that. And the second thing I want to mention just before we go is I really enjoyed the costume of seeing Michael Fassbender in the Assassin's Creed. I hope that comes out good. All we saw him is in the costume, and you know, I like the guy. He does. There's very few movies I've seen him in I haven't liked. You know, so I hope he does a great job on that. I haven't seen anything about Assassin's Creed except him in the costume, and it looked pretty good. I'm done.
Well, before we wrap up, yeah, you brought it up that, you know, the Assassin's Creed movie is getting made right now, and everybody has high hopes for it. It's a potential franchise, and you got to admit it does have potential, especially for different time frames. You know, they're jumping through time. You know, one movie can take place in this era, another one American Revolution, another one Pirates. So there's such potential there for that series, but comic book movies, you know, and
we'll see how it goes. But I don't think they're dead yet.
No, and we got to wrap things up. We hit upon our hour, so we got to thank everybody for joining us. Thank for all the awesome people we met at the Border City Comic Con and the great pictures we took, and all the lovely people we hanged out with. And you know, the lip sync battle was awesome. And we got to wrap things up again. You can catch us at the Las Cruces Comic Con in October. September, sorry. And check them out for tickets and guest info. Hopefully we'll have Troy on later on our one of our future shows. And catch our Facebook page. So, see you guys.
Adios.